but pulling up studies that agree with what you already believe in is, in a way, anecdotal, because you could find any type of information that believes what.
See, they do this a lot, pulling up studies that just agree with what you agree with. How do you know that's what we're doing? How do you know that I don't agree with these things because of what the studies say?
Guys in the chat, if you prefer a woman between 18 and 24, give me a 1. If you prefer a woman in her 30s or 40s or above, give me a 2. Let's see what.
Wait, oh my God. I'm suffering right now. I'm in hell. So first studies are bad, then poll your own f***ing chat? Do you know what like a biased sample is?
Like, should you be shamed for something that's easy for you to do?
Next caller.
Okay, that was pathetic.
Thank you for
Holy
using
shit!
Blog Talk Radio.
Wow.
Goodbye.
They're actually kicking him off. That's it? So there you guys have it. That's what happens when Fresh and Fit get confronted by somebody who actually knows some facts and logic, and they're not just some airhead drunk girl they pulled off the side of Miami Beach. Sneako's been kind of coping after our debate for a while. We already went over his video talking about it, and this is from a couple weeks ago now, so this isn't a recent cope. However, it's recent in the sense that I just found out about it, and apparently Sneako was like low-key crying to Destiny about shit too, asking him how he can just like dodge studies being brought up during debates. Like just the biggest cope. It's a really brief clip.
I was wondering if you saw, you're going to do this debate review. I was wondering if you saw the debate I did with this guy, Hunter Avalone. He kind of sounds and talks like a mini you. I think it went well. At the end, I started getting like baited for clips. I don't think I said anything bad, but I'm just wondering what you think. I'm trying to up my debate game. And, you know, they're saying they all come to you. You're the
I've seen
The master debater. And then they basically just ramble. Let me see where they get to me.
I was just like, let me go full debate mode. Let me go argue points. The one issue I have, and I'm wondering what you think about this, is that he brought up a lot of studies and he was just reading stuff off of a screen. How do you pivot away from that, and how do you get someone to just engage in a conversation?
Keep in mind, his I was just reading stuff off a screen was me reading a slight and small little abstract of one study. The only thing I read was one abstract of a study, which was incredibly pertinent because it was talking about how when men feel like they are failing to live up to certain masculine standards, they're more likely to engage in abuse against their partners. Literally just a little tiny blurb. And apparently that's me just reading a screen the whole time. I swear to God, man, these people are the biggest copers.
Conversation. I like the fact that when you bring up studies, you have them already memorized. You already know the talking points. This guy just started reading.
I have the studies memorized too, homeboy. What do you mean?
Scripts. Like, he just started reading stuff off of a screen. I'm like, this is a terrible way to have a conversation.
when it comes
Exactly. I had the entire script right there. Hello, Sneako. Yeah, hi. I wanted to talk about, are you interested in upgrading your television service today? Yep, that's exactly how it is, guys.
Screen. I'm like, this is a terrible way to have a conversation.
when it comes to hardcore political stuff, you just have to you already have to know what the literature says. Otherwise, it's going to turn into that. So you could either have them send you stuff in advance and you can read it, or just say you don't want to go over studies, but that's going to make you look really weak. So,
Well, that's what he did, remember? Quit reading the study, okay? Let's just talk.
Do you think that that's all considered facts? Do you think that that's a valid way to debate, to read these studies? I think my argument was that people always say, like, you can't just use your anecdotal advice, but pulling up studies that agree with what you already believe in is, in a way, anecdotal, because you could find any type of information that believes what.
See, they do this a lot, pulling up studies that just agree with what you agree with. How do you know that's what we're doing? How do you know that I don't agree with these things because of what the studies say? Why are you assuming that I'm like waking up one day with this gut feeling as like, you know what, there are certain social expectations surrounding masculinity that I think might be bad. Let me go Google a study to prove this. That's not how this works. What I try to do is read the studies and then form your opinion based on the empiricism. That's the smart route. And this is kind of a self-report for Sneako because he's demonstrating that that is how he does stuff. He has this gut feeling. And so he just kind of rolls with it. And he thinks everybody else has the same gut feelings. And then they just try to back it up with studies. That's not what happens, Sneako. Also, you probably want to pivot away from studies because there's virtually no study that actually supports what you are claiming to believe in. I like Destiny's chat too. Hunter was pretty lame for that, to be fair. Everybody knows it's incredibly lame to read a very brief abstract during a debate. One thing I've noticed with like the DGG chat that's so fucking cringe is literally everybody sucks with debating except Destiny. Everybody. These cocksuckers in DGG, they literally think every single human being sucks debating except Destiny. When Destiny reads studies during a debate, yeah, so based, bro. Holy shit. Win. When Hunter reads studies during debate, that's really lame, you know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be fair. It's pretty cringy. DGG, man. I really, really don't like them.
Your anecdotal advice, but pulling up studies that agree with what you already believe in is in a way anecdotal because you could find any type of information that believes what you already think. If you look online, there's an article and a study to back up exactly your point of view.
There's going to be an article to support anything, but a good study like that, it's a whole other separate skill to like learn how to read studies. But I mean, that just depends on how much time you want to pour into things.
And this is also a huge misconception that a lot of these people have also, like, oh, you can just find a study to support anything. First of all, if that's true, how come Sneako failed to bring a single study that supported his claims? So there's the first question. Second of all, there's either not actually studies that support it, or the studies that do exist are very, very poor quality. A lot of the times, what's important to remember, and this is something that I need to get better at reiterating, is that studies that exist are usually done based upon prior research. So studies that are talking about the harmful elements of masculinity, that takes into account the other research on the topic as well, and it builds on the already existing research. So it's not just like a random study I find that happens to support my fifis. It's that the studies that currently exist are built upon previous studies that also support my claims. And I think that a lot of these people need to understand that studies are not just these like Pokemon cards, like what John Soyle says. They're not just like, I surveyed 3 people and they said masculinity is bad, publish. There's a peer review process. It takes into account other research. There's a lot that goes on with studies, and Sneako and a lot of these other people that try to write off studies, they just don't understand the rigor required to get an actual solid study published. And so for them, they think it's just like a Pokemon card. Okay, that was pretty much all. Just really funny watching him ask Destiny how he can just squirm away from studies. How do you get out of that when you're presented with a fuck ton of evidence that contradicts my feelings? What do I do, Destiny? Please help me. While we're on the subject of studies, I think this is a great way to segue into the next video I have for us today. More red pill cringe, specifically another video from Fresh&Fit. This video by Fresh&Fit was posted a little while ago, and it too is talking about studies. PhD chick needs a study to know if the sky is blue?
I just think that the resources that you use was not credible. So
Outdated.
most of everything is invalid,
PhD.
and it's your opinion.
PhD.
And then I just feel like
Real quick,
You-
make sure not what was not credible specifically.
because you didn't give numbers. You said majority, which is 51% or more, but you never said a number. So like,
Okay,
it's not
what
credible.
specifically do you want?
This is a common trend with Fresh&Fit. I say this every time we review their content, and I'm not going to stop saying it because it's important. I point it out every time. They almost always bring the worst type of people on their panel. So we have this girl who, I mean, if she's a PhD, she's probably very well educated. However, right off the bat, she is failing to articulate her argument well at all. She's trying to just disregard all the previous studies that this guy, I guess, has cited at a certain time. And she's saying because he didn't say numbers or something. This is just bad argumentation. This doesn't support your point. Instead, it would be better to just poke holes in the actual studies and then explain how there are other studies done that are far superior and then explain why.
So like,
Okay,
it's not
what
credible.
specifically do you want numbers for?
Everything that you said.
Give me an example.
For example, you said most men like, you said a lot of things. So whatever you said, you never gave a number.
Oh no. Another helpful hint, okay, if you're going to challenge somebody on something, pick something, have a specific example. So for me, when I go into a debate and there's something that I know I want to bring up to the person, I will already have thought through or looked it up or whatever. I will already have an idea in my head as to what is it that I want to confront them on. So if I say, I think that you're sometimes dishonest with studies, and then they say, give me an example, and you say, well, like just in general, you know, you failed, you've lost. That's it. You've already lost the argument because you're not even able to give an example. Have something prior thought out. here's a specific study that you referenced and you were incorrect in citing this because XYZ.
Man, like you said a lot of things. So whatever you said, you never gave a number. There's no numbers. There's no stats. Whatever.
We have a cheat sheet with all
Where?
these stats you can look at as well.
I mean, do
I
we
wanna
need a
see-
study to say that the sky is blue?
Yes.
Then
I'm a numbers
there's
person.
there's just no
I'm a
reasoning
numbers
with you.
Distribution of singles on OkCupid by age.
So if you need a study to tell you that the sky is blue, then I don't know what to tell you. You lack critical thinking skills.
How would you know the sky's
Whoa.
blue if you don't have a study?
Now you're just trying to be a
No,
contrarian and
no,
argue.
I'm not.
Hey, mix it up.
Yes,
Here,
you
Let me tell you.
It's getting so mad.
Look here. On screen. Here's numbers. Here's a chart.
Where's the source from?
Nigga.
What day?
It comes from OkCupid.
No. What's the date?
It comes from it comes from 2010 OkCupid, which, like I said before, dating.
I've looked this up before. Let me see if I can find it again. Okay. Now I'm remembering this. Yes. So the 80-20 rule comes from a Tinder study that was, no joke, done by some random schmuck who got his data from polling 27 male Tinder users. That's it. A far more credible and extensive study on sexual selection is research from the dating site OkCupid. The OkCupid geniuses surveyed male and female users and asked them to rate single people's attractiveness from 1 to 5. As you can see, men's ratings of women fell on a bell curve, with most women landing at an average 2.5 for attractiveness. But then, here's the kicker that they're not going to bring up on Fresh and Fit. But then OkCupid compared that data with which women the men were messaging. The data shows men might rate women's attractiveness charitably, but they only messaged the most attractive 5s. Women were far less charitable with men's attractiveness. They rated men mostly 1s and 2s and only gave out gold stars to the extra hot 5s. But whom women messaged tells a different story. Women messaged more average-looking men and were less likely to message the most attractive men. Academic research backs up the OkCupid data. The University of Oxford analyzed 150,000 male dating profiles and found that average-looking men got more messages on dating apps than attractive men. Women are far more likely to message those average-looking 2s and 3s because women don't care as much about a man's appearance. Interesting. So all this OkCupid data shows is that women tend to vote men less attractive. However, they are messaging them at higher rates. See, they don't bring this part of it up. They'll present you with this OkCupid data and say, look, women are really picky about how attractive men are. They leave out the fact that women will message average-looking guys at higher rates. So yeah, studies would have been really helpful there, buddy. Too bad you didn't cite one.
Well, it comes from 2010 OkCupid, which, like I said before, dating apps are a very accurate measurement of what people really want because they can't be judged.
This was 2010 though. This is new. The newer generation. 2010. You can't go off of 2010.
Oh my
Bring your
God,
study.
no. Ah! The minute you try and discredit the date of a study, listen, if it was like from 1975 or something, okay, sure. Yeah, maybe you can be like, dude, come on. The 1970s, like what people considered attractive then is far different now, and how people engage with people, that's changed, yada, yada, yada. Okay, if it was something from like the 70s or even the 80s, then maybe you can take issue with the date of the study. 2010? Come on, man. No. It was in 2010, you know, so much has changed now. No, honey, okay? They had dating apps and websites then too. That's how they got that data. Oh shit. This is a little bit painful because I'm on her side as far as the fact that obviously these guys are wrong, but shit, she's going about this all wrong and I feel really bad for her.
One day. No, seriously.
I mean, dude,
I
like,
want to see the numbers. No, for
you're
real.
telling me that you need a study to corroborate something that's like clearly a verifiable independent fact?
Correct.
If you ask 10 men, but if you
Because
ask
what's a clearly verifiable independent fact? And how are you determining that it is in fact a fact without some degree of a study or research being done? The only way you could do that is if it's a fact based on some individual that you individually know. So I could say, like, it is a fact that my brother likes chocolate cake. That could be a fact that I can verify independently, but I could not then say, every man between the age of 21 and 27 loves chocolate cake.
BYOF.
The
Bring your own
argument,
facts.
the argument was men prefer younger women. So why would a woman's opinion matter on that?
I said for some of the things, so don't come at me. I was just
But that's what we're discussing right now.
I'm just saying. I just want to update it.
You gotta be relevant if you're gonna interject.
No, she is relevant, but
No,
I'm
she's
just
not.
saying. I just want to update it, like stats about the information that you're saying, so you can be credible.
All right, here's
And
the
then-
update. Your
Hold on,
thing.
Chris.
Oh,
Hold on.
Lord, go. I want to see it. I'm not like denying what you're saying.
No,
but I'm saying
But like,
something updated.
you do you not understand how asinine this argument is? Like, if I was to say, right, I need a study to prove that women prefer men that make money and are tall and are athletic, have an athletic build, wouldn't I sound stupid for that?
No, nothing stupid.
No.
No, you wouldn't sound stupid for that. These people are so anti-intellectual. It's actually sad. How are they not like falling off the toilet, plummeting to their death every fucking day? Yeah, you need a study to verify something like that, dipshit. And even more so, the reason he's trying to say, well, it's an independent, verifiable fact. I don't need a study, is because actual studies disprove him. They prove him wrong. So women prefer men that make money and are tall. So make money? Again, what do you mean by make money? Yeah, women probably don't want a deadbeat, but I don't know if guys are going to want a deadbeat woman either. Probably if you're going to get married or be serious with somebody, you're going to want them to have a stable job because it demonstrates that they're not a fucking loser living in their mom's basement licking Dorito crumbs off of their shirt all day. Like, yeah, of course. But when he says make money, I'm pretty sure what he's getting at is that women prefer men who are very wealthy and rich. They've done studies on this. Here's what they found. They took men and they would put men in really, really nice cars to symbolize wealth. And they did find that, yes, men in those really nice cars definitely caught more eyes and got a little more attention from women. However, the women were less likely to date and be committed to a man who was driving one of those super nice sporty cars, because although it may have grabbed their attention for a moment, they also would come to a conclusion, more or less, that, well, if a guy is sporting around a super nice car and is really wealthy like this, he's probably just looking for a casual kind of hookup, and that's not what I'm interested in. Do women prefer a man who makes money? Yeah, probably, because she doesn't want a deadbeat. Doesn't mean women prefer some dude who's like rich as fuck flaunting that wealth. So that's the first thing. Second of all, women prefer tall men. Sort of, he's wrong and right here. So yes, it's true that women on average are attracted to men who are taller. That's, yes, of course. However, if you look at marriage rates, it's not actually reflected there. Women will marry men who aren't all that tall. So yeah, maybe generally if they're walking down the street and they pass a guy who's really tall, then yeah, they're probably going to think that that guy's kind of attractive. But it doesn't actually follow through when we're talking about marriage rates. How do I know this? Because there's studies. Boom. Wow. Mind blown even.
Wouldn't I sound stupid for that? Oh, and are athletic, have an athletic build.
When
Wouldn't
they
I
have an athletic build, I mean, people are usually attracted to people who seem healthy and seem fit and in shape. Sure. But like, isn't there also a huge trend right now with women who are attracted to what they call the dad bods?
sound stupid for that?
No, nothing stupid.
No, I would sound stupid because I am doubting something that is easily verifiable and factual.
No, it's not verifiable and it's not factual if you don't have a method by which you can verify this.
Only prefer men that are tall, that have money, that have status.
If you find it, you find it. If you see, we see it. Like, I'm not saying that you're wrong. It's okay.
This is the education system. Holy shit.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God. Oh God. This is bad. I mean, dude, like
this is scary.
This is scary that she's a PhD candidate and you need a study to verify something that is clearly it's indisputable.
And he's so mad. It's just look at the trees, bruh. He's doing the Christian equivalent argument right now. The look at the trees. Just trust me, bruh. He's so mad right now. It's just obvious, dude. You know what? That's going to be my argument next time, okay? Hunter, do you really think that there are certain elements of masculinity that are harmful? Yeah. Yes, it's obvious, bro. Just look around, man. Look at the trees, okay? How do you deny that it's real? Duh. Trust me, bruh.
PhD program, you do studies to verify information.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
but
like, what do you not understand?
They're not going to waste their time doing an entire study
to
verify something that is clearly factual. Men prefer younger women. It's been that way since the beginning of time.
You know what? I'm gonna do my dissertation on that. You know, to find a study. Like, what's
Hunter, he's desperately trying to cling to his intuition. Yeah, true. But when he says that like men prefer younger women, I don't think that's incorrect. The common belief is yes. Nevertheless, a study in Finland on age differences in partners shows that men might state interest in younger women, but actually end up with women more or less their age. Oh shit. This is why these people hate studies, by the way, because even if a study doesn't necessarily disprove what they're saying, it adds nuance to what they're saying. And they don't want nuance. They just want this black and white view of men like younger women. That's the end of it. Do not think twice about it. I have turned my brain off. That's what they want. But at the end of the day, like this study right here, this isn't disproving what he just said. It does seem that men generally are attracted to younger women. However, the nuance is then that they don't actually end up with younger women, though, when we're talking about marriage rates.
So I just feel like in the future, you're gonna marry in the future. I don't know about you. I feel like you have like a more military like style that you're in the military. So you're like, oh, me. You know, so I feel like you're never gonna get it. Military, non-military. That's what I think, you know, from reading you guys.
She's 27.
I operate on facts and logic.
Were you in the military? Anybody?
No.
Facts and logic from the guy who just said, you don't need to study, dude. Just look around. It's obvious, bruh. I swear to God, the facts and logic that these people invoke, it's just a buzzword. It doesn't even mean anything to them.
This one, I feel like eventually you're gonna be a simp, and then you're gonna like marry somebody.
Damn. Damn. Cat, she don't know me.
I know.
Yeah, you know that's funny. People underestimate Fresh, but they underestimate the fuck out of Fresh. Hey man, they don't know, man.
Okay, next to you.
All right, you know what? We got 14,000 plus people watching in the chat right now. Guys in the chat, if you prefer a woman between 18 to 24, give me a 1. If you prefer a woman in her 30s or 40s or above, give me a 2. Let's see what.
Wait. Oh my God. I'm suffering right now. I'm in hell. So first studies are bad, then poll your own fucking chat? Do you know what like a biased sample is? Wow, you think the Fresh and Fit viewers are all gonna say, well, actually, I prefer a woman who is mature in her, the younger years of 40 up. Give me a fucking break. This is so embarrassing. You don't like studies, but you're willing to poll your own chat, which is the most biased sample imaginable. This is actually embarrassingly stupid. He doesn't even realize the contradictions here. Facts and logic guy. That's his facts and logic, guys. Just intuition and, well, my chat said this thing, herder.
18 to 24, give me a 1. If you prefer a woman in her 30s or 40s or above, give me a 2. Let's see what the chat says. We got 14,000 people watching right now from all different realms of the world. Give me your unbiased opinion, guys.
One.
What do you prefer?
200.
Incredible.
The 1 year.
Yo, it is scary that you are pursuing a PhD right now and don't agree with like
I never said I
independently
don't-
verifiable facts.
I never said I don't agree. As I said, I want credible like resources, stats. That's what I'm saying. I never said you're wrong. Did I
Do you
say,
need a credible
did I-
resource to
wait,
say
did I
that
hear-
1 + 1 is 2?
Did you hear that? Like
You
he was
never
wrong. I
said
never said he
no.
was wrong. I never said you're wrong.
You
Did
said
I?
She just said she wants to
wants-
update it.
yeah.
She wants to
You
put
said-
updated
Did I not
studies.
say you're
She's
wrong?
being a little defiant. That's
You
all.
said-
She's a
Also, the
You have to
people in the
prove
chat
them
are not. Most of your audience is like-minded, so of course, most of the audience is going to answer the same.
That's not true.
That is true.
That is true.
Yeah, that is
Actually,
true.
they disagree a lot.
8% woman only. So
Well, you know what? If you're going to say that most of our audience is like-minded and they agree with what we're saying,
I
well,
see it
I would
too.
say that this is a very good sample study for men in general, and a lot of men agree with what we're saying. It's just that you haven't heard it because men.
No, there's a selection bias, dude. People that follow you are going to be more like-minded, obviously. This is like if I polled my chat and was like, do you think trans people are valid? And when most of the chat says yes, then I'm like, ha, trans people are good. My chat says so. Okay, let's do a poll, guys. Everybody type 1 if you think Hunter Avalone is literally Jesus Christ, and type 2 if you think Fresh and Fit are Satan reincarnate, okay?
Can't tell women the truth.
No, you market to a certain type of
audience.
and that's
Yeah.
cool. But if you want to be objective with it, then go on the street and ask all different types of men, random men, not the men that are listening to you constantly.
Do you
Well, the
know,
influence
right?
from
So
dating.
wait, so what is not objective about men prefer younger women? That is the truth. That is an objective fact.
I agree with that. I'm not saying that. I agree.
What are you arguing?
And
Now, what are you arguing particularly?
I'm arguing that what you're saying right now, what you're trying to prove is
Which
not.
is, give us exactly what we're trying to prove that is not objective.
Well, there it is. My study is in, everybody. It is undeniable. The chat has successfully voted. Hunter is literally Jesus Christ. Thank you, everybody, for crowning me on the right hand of God.
That most.
Go ahead.
You gotta wait for me to pause to play that.
Well, there's a pause right now.
Fresh and Fit's getting a little bit pushed around right here.
Yeah, honestly, we're just going in circles, so I'm good.
Okay, because you're making an accusation, and then we're asking you, okay, articulate your accusation. You can't do it.
Okay.
That's what's going on. I'm giving you a platform to. Okay, what are we saying that's incorrect?
They're still saying.
I feel like you're incorrect.
I'm saying the way that you're trying to prove things is not accurate. Just like somebody says something and you're like,
No, you can't crucify me, okay? That part doesn't count. I'm Jesus Christ after resurrecting, okay?
I'm saying the way that you're trying to prove things is not accurate. Just like somebody says something and you're like, oh, well, is the sky blue? Like you're trapping somebody to agree with you. Obviously, yes, the sky is blue. Obviously, yes, most people on this chat are going to answer a certain type of way because they think a certain type of way, because they're a certain type of audience, because that's who you market to. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the way that you try to prove things, I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm saying the way that you come at it is not accurate.
Well, I use
Did you see the little chat message that popped up there too in the donation? Bruh, it's common sense. I like how the people that always talk about common sense are also like comically stupid.
And also our audience, right, will call us out if we're capping. So I get what you're saying, but at the same time, like we're held accountable too. So what you're saying is they're like-minded, but if we bullshit, they're gonna call us out.
Well,
So
also, women fail to realize that men are just simple creatures. A lot of us think and operate the same way. It doesn't take a lot to please a guy. Yeah. You guys are complex. You guys have different things that tick you on and off or whatever, but men are very simple in general.
Says the guy who just got done saying, well, women just want a guy who makes a lot of money and is tall and that's it. I just can't believe you just said men are simple-minded creatures. Like, you don't think men are complex at all? You don't think that men struggle with complex issues? You don't think that men have complex internal workings? Really? We are the pro-man show over here at Fresh and Fit. You have to understand that we are literal cavemen, okay? It doesn't take much to make us happy. Just give us sex, make us a sandwich, rub our feet, and we're good, We're simple creatures. I just, roll out of the cave, let a little grunt out. I'm good to go, man. That's how men are.
And the reason why I'm pressing you guys on what in particular do you disagree with and you guys aren't able to articulate it, it's not because I've said something that is actually incorrect. It's you guys don't like what I say because it makes you feel a certain way. You guys don't like the way
Says the guy that just denied the fact that studies are relevant when talking about female preferences, and then said, just look around, bruh. You're the one who is, at minimum, denying the potential for there to be a study and nuance surrounding the kind of ideals that you push for the sake of your feelings.
Women are used to covert communication. No guy's going to tell you, let's go back to my place and fuck. No, he's going to say, yo, you're kind of cool. You want to come back to my place? I got like a cool fucking Frisbee collection. I don't fucking know. Women are not good with direct communication. Men must be covert in the way that they speak. So right now, I'm going against the grain. I'm telling y'all the truth. This is what it is. 1 + 1 is fucking 2. And you guys are not used to hearing that. You guys are used to hearing 1 + 1 is 2 most of the time, I think. That's what women don't like. They don't like the directness and me being overt with what I'm saying. So you guys don't like the way I make you feel. But what I'm saying is still real.
Women just don't like direct communication. Is that why men are historically far worse at communicating? Indicated that women are better communicators than men. Some of these suggest that women use many more words than men. Modern neuroscience and studies in children and adolescents in particular tends to confirm these general findings. The complexity and sophistication of language is greater in girls. Boys on average appear to catch up and talk more in the age 16 through 18 before becoming increasingly reticent on average after age 21 compared to women. Girls and young females, on the other hand, are not only more sophisticated talkers, but develop more in the realm of listening with greater focus and concentration as they age. This is why he doesn't like studies, by the way. That's why. Right there is why he doesn't like studies, because the minute you look one up, again, not every study is going to just prove them wrong. Not every study is going to be like, what he said is factually incorrect, he is lying. A lot of the times, the studies will simply add nuance to their arguments, and the nuance doesn't help them. They want to keep on leading astray a bunch of sad, lonely men who feel like women are all to blame because they can't get laid. And so instead of actually giving nuance and a proper perspective here, it's far easier, again, to just go with the black and white, like, women are not good at communicating. They don't like it. Yeah, because I said so. You don't need a study to prove that. Is the sky blue? Common sense, bro. Look at the trees. Hee hee. Like, that's all that they're doing right now. It's like the most fucking low IQ form of commentary. What's even worse is that the PhD chick definitely did not do well. She didn't support her claim at all. And the fact that she tried to discredit the study because it was from 2010 was really bad. And then the fact that she had no examples and couldn't even provide any alternative information just made her look bad. She looked bad in that engagement, absolutely. And to a Fresh and Fit fan, like, they're all going to walk away thinking that Myron absolutely demolished her in that conversation. And in many ways, he kind of did, because she failed to adequately support the conclusion that she was trying to draw. So yeah, she didn't do great. But again, because she's kind of just like a person who doesn't have any experience with media or any debate training or whatever, Myron is able to kind of walk all over her, and he's able to just reinforce his dipshit beliefs. This black and white narrative, stripping dating and women and men from all nuance. He unironically said that men are just simple creatures. Like, maybe you're simple-minded, fucking loser, but not all of us are, okay? I like to think that I'm a complex, in-depth young man. And it's just sad, because at the end of the day, Fresh and Fit, they lead men astray. They lead men down a path where, first, they'll take advantage of the fact that a lot of these men are lonely, and there are unique issues that men experience in this society. That's true. But then they'll take that and they'll push them down the path of destruction. They'll push them down the path of simple-minded, common sense bullshit, ignoring intellectualism, until those men are left with nothing except for the dumb fuck belief that all of their problems are because of women being too picky or not wanting to date guys who aren't 6'9". And it's sad. It really is. Erythrial, thank you for the 2. React to vegan gains calling into Fresh and Fit. I didn't know that. Hold on.
Hey, what's up? So I wanted to talk to you about a short you recently made where you said it's a good thing when men have multiple partners or cheat, but it's a bad thing when women have multiple partners or cheat. Do you remember that short? You made it recently? Okay, so first of all, yeah, the argument you made, you used a set of purely factual premises to come to an ethical conclusion that women should be shamed for cheating. I think you basically said it's easier for women to get laid, therefore, you know, it should be shameful if women are promiscuous or cheat on their partners, but it's really hard for men to get laid. So that makes it a good thing for them to get lots of sex. It's like a sign of status or something, or working hard. So this is an a philosophical problem called the is-ought gap. If you make an argument with purely factual premises, it doesn't make any logical sense to come to an ethical conclusion. So it was just a very poorly constructed argument to begin with. And secondly, if we were to ignore that issue, I don't know why you'd come to the conclusion that it's shameful for a woman to take advantage of it being easy to get sex. There are plenty of situations where people just have natural talents or things come easy to them. So like if a really big, strong dude who's just naturally strong goes and plays football, like you'd expect somebody to take advantage of some sort of benefit or, you know, skill they have. And there are plenty of guys who it's very easy for them to have sex. They're just really naturally good looking, maybe just naturally. They have great social skills. So if you're going to have this sort of position where women should be shamed because it's easy for them to get sex, I don't even know why this has anything to do with gender. If that's the basis for shaming somebody for being promiscuous, like you should just shame somebody for having sex or a lot of sex if it's just easy for them to get sex, regardless of their gender.
The whole chat just like, soy, beta. Oh, so cute. Let's hear what they're going to say. Are they laughing right now? Oh my God, they're losing it. Listen, yeah. I'm not like the biggest Vegan Gains fan or anything, okay? But holy shit. He just gave them a pretty solid argument. I don't really like the type of argument he delivered. I think that it sounded a little bit like almost like a try-hard argument, to be fair. But he overall had a good point. If you're going to shame somebody for being promiscuous because it's easy for them to get sex, then wouldn't that just apply across the board? And now they have the clown mask on and are laughing? Holy shit.
He's finished his question mark.
Okay.
All right. I think that's the answer right there.
So do you have any retort?
No, bro, because you just don't understand basic intersexual dynamics. So there's nothing to talk about here. Like,
okay, so you don't acknowledge that you made a poorly constructed argument that just made no sense. Like, if it were easy for you to get sex, would you not take advantage of that? Like, should you be shamed for something that's easy for you to do?
Next caller.
Okay, that was
Thank
pathetic.
you for
Holy
using
shit!
Blog Talk Radio.
Wow.
Goodbye.
They're actually kicking him off. That's it? Are you one question was all it took. So there you guys have it. That's what happens when Fresh and Fit get confronted by somebody who actually knows some facts and logic, and they're not just some airhead drunk girl they pulled off the side of Miami Beach. That's what happens. Mad coping, putting on a fucking clown mask, and then being like, there's just nothing to talk about, bro. Oh my God, they can't even answer. Well, there you guys have it. Again, Fresh and Fit being alpha males, super cool, tough boys who melt down and start going full Joker mode the minute they get confronted with a question that they cannot answer. Actually embarrassing. And yeah, the stream was even called their stream was Hater Call-In Show. So you'd think they'd be a little bit more prepared to contend with certain arguments from people that disagree with their content. Okay, well, Fresh and Fit, very alpha, all about the facts and logic, but the minute they get confronted with facts and logic, they turn into a beta soy boy melting into a puddle of piss and soy. Very sad, indeed.